Welcome to Google Ads Unleashed, the podcast that helps you harness the power of Google Ads to increase sales for your online business. In an ever-changing Google Ads landscape, we uncover the latest strategies, techniques, and best practices for creating effective ad campaigns that deliver real results. And now your host, Jeremy Young.
Well, hello guys, and welcome to Google Ads Unleashed. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about something that is fiercely debated and which I get asked so often. If I'd have £1 every time someone would ask me a question regarding this, then I would be a millionaire. And that is, are brand campaigns a waste of money? Right? So I get this all the time. So first of all, in this episode, I want to be talking about sort of what they are. Some of you might not know them or not really sure what I'm talking about. Then I want to be sort of talking about how you would set this up, and what they're sort of good for, of course, and how to actually measure whether they are working for your brand or not. And then will talk about sort of their benefits or the negative, of course, things as well, and where I think branded search campaigns should be in your advertising efforts. So first of all, what is a brand campaign or branded search campaign? So it is a search campaign, very simply spoken, that contains branded keywords, right? So if your brand is, let's say, Coca-Cola, then you would have a search campaign that has the keywords, targets the keywords Coca-Cola, for instance, as exact match, as phrase match, sometimes even broad match if you're crazy, or if you're feeling daredevilish. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, more or less, and they differ from other generic search campaigns or from your PMAX campaigns, that generic search campaigns target people who may never heard about your brand before. They may have heard of you before, but are actually typing in keywords into Google that do not contain any keywords that contain your branded word. And in my opinion, incorporating branded search campaigns is a very, very valuable way to increase performance of your Google Ads account. There are, of course, exceptions, which I'm going to be talking about later, but they are usually part of every Google Ads account that we set up, and I will tell you the benefits of them later. But how do we set them up? So usually branded search campaigns are the ones which with the broadest sort of setup. For instance, if we have a brand that is known in, let's say, the US, but also delivers worldwide, then usually we would sort of set the targeting very broad, so to include people from all over the world, because usually if someone is searching for a brand name, then they're very aware of what, of course, that brand sells. They're very aware of sort of what what to expect. They know the products. They may have already decided in their head that they're going to be purchasing. So usually we set them up very loosely and very broadly to capture as many conversions as possible. And very often we have maybe just one ad group with the branded keyword as an exact and phrase match, and that's pretty much it. We have an ad that goes with it, and of course our account level or campaign level ad assets, or formerly ad extensions. But there is a way to actually improve this setup. Well, probably some of you might not even have this setup yet, so I would go and urge you to do it, and I'll tell you later why, what the benefits are. But some of you might actually have just a brand search set up this way and are asking yourself, how can I actually improve on this? And there is a relatively straightforward way of doing this. So the first thing is that you actually, every branded search volume that is out there for any brand is people who literally just search for the brand, right? Then people who search for brand plus discount codes, so some sort of offer related keywords like discount code or brand plus offer or brand plus 10% off or something like that, anything in this regard, because these are people who have already made their mind up about purchasing from, of course, you, but they are not, maybe not just on the edge. They're, for them, for instance, a discount or some sort of good offer is really important in their conversion or in their purchase decision, and they're just trying to get the best deal. So very often it's a good idea to actually create a second ad group that contains all of these keywords with an ad that sends people to a specific landing page that contains, for instance, an offer or discount code, etc., to satisfy that relevant search query, to provide a relevant search result for that query. So this is something that I would urge everyone to set up as well. If you have such a landing page, maybe try and build one. Or if you haven't got a landing page like that, then try and build one and incorporate this into your brand campaign. Then another element of a sort of a typical branded search volume that we see is that people are not on the fence relatively maybe about the price of something, but about whether it's legit, right? So very often we get brand plus any sort of reviews or experiences or something like that. Yeah, so brand plus reviews, brand plus experiences, or brand plus testimonials, stuff like that, right? So what is then a good idea, like what I said previously, is to also build a landing page about people who maybe have testimonials about you, right? So some sort of sales page that specifically talks about what reviews customers have left, what testimonials they've left, etc., etc. You can also combine this with the offer to create a really effective landing page to convert these sort of types of searches. And that's why it's really important to have a branded search campaign in this way, right? So because if you wouldn't have a campaign like this that sends people directly to a landing page relevant to this query, you would only send them to an organic page and they might not convert, right? They might be on the fence. They might have seen your meta ads, but then you want to really convert them and 100% seal the deal. So trying to offer relevant branded search results is super important. And then we sometimes have clients who have a subset of products who have very specific names, for instance, like think of IKEA, for instance, the old, I think it's called Billy, the big old cupboard. So that would be a branded search in a way as well, but people might be searching for your brand plus your product names, right, if they have specific names. So you can just create an ad group and just send them directly to that product page, right? So again, maximizing the relevancy of your ads. And then you can create as many ad extensions as you like, so that there are obviously loads that you can choose. So very, very important that you set this up in the best way possible. Then what sort of ad copy should you pop in there? Well, you don't have to be like too crazy about the ads. You don't really have to sort of come up with any sort of real cool idea that is massively different from your top funnel ads and campaigns. All I would do is make sure that you obviously highlight your unique selling points as you always do. Try to reinforce your credibility through adding testimonials or through adding, for instance, how many reviews you have. Just write good ads, right? So pretty straightforward. Add your offers or your benefits of your product. And of course, if you run something like brand plus offer as an ad group, or brand plus reviews, maybe alter the ad slightly to reflect that you can like give people a 10% discount with your offer ad group, stuff like that. It's always a good idea to just simply A/B test to see what works best here. but I'll leave that up to you. You can get really creative, but branded search campaigns are so easy and always convert pretty much, so you don't really have to get too creative or too nuts here. Then, how do you measure the effectiveness for your branded search campaign? Well, first of all, I think sort of conversions and conversion value and conversion rate is obviously are the obvious ones, right? But some sort of metrics which are often overlooked are actually search impression share. Is one which is super important. Naturally, you will want to show for every branded search query that you got, because I'm going to get later in the biggest benefits of brand search campaigns and why they might or might not be a waste of money. But you will want to maximize the budget. So search impression share is a metric that pretty much shows how often your ad could have shown for a specific search query. And if you have that at, let's say, 70%, that means your ad has shown 7 out of 10 times for the search query, in layman's terms, more or less. And with brand, that means you can pump up the budget, for instance, if you see that that's a metric. But otherwise, another one which I find really important is impressions, generally speaking, because you can track how many people know your brand and are actually actively searching for your brand. So these are sort of the key things that I would look at: conversions, conversion value, conversion rate, the hard metrics, and then 2 soft metrics, which would be just impressions and search impression share. More is not important because these campaigns usually run on autopilot. Then you will see a massive difference between branded search campaigns and generic ones. Branded search campaigns will have super high click-through rates, super low CPCs. They will have a lot of conversions, a lot of conversion volume. So please don't really compare them to generic search campaigns, because you'll be comparing apples and oranges here. And with generic ones, you will obviously want to look at completely other metrics maybe as well, to sort of analyze all your advertising efforts. Then what budget and bidding strategy should you use for branded search? Well, I usually go with one of the two, and that is max conversions or max conversion value, simply because with the branded searches, we want to bid as aggressively as possible and just generate as many conversions as possible. Some people add a target ROAS or target CPA. You can do that. It's not really necessary. I think you should go as aggressive as possible. But something that a lot of people do is to A/B test versus a manual bidding strategy, because Google has the tendency to, unfortunately, spend quite a little more money on our campaigns sometimes as we want to. And if you choose a manual CPC that is just enough to actually show your branded search campaign, then oftentimes that CPC is lower than if you have a campaign that is on max conversions. However, it's a little bit more work, so I would just say A/B test that and see how you get on. You can just simply create an experiment, listen to my experiment episode maybe, and you will find out how that works, and what other experiments you can maybe run as well. Then what you should do is use ad assets and as well, as many as you can. Common extensions such as site links would be very important, because some people might be searching for your brand but ideally want to click through straight to the product page, right? So if you, like going back to what I said before, if you have a product that or have products which have certain names which people directly search for and which commonly want to go onto the product page straight away, you just cut that step out of the funnel. With organic search results, you can't do that, right? Like, it is literally just your homepage. But with a branded search campaign, you got then a site link that sends people, or a price extension or similar, that sends people directly to that that product page or landing page. The same goes for all other extensions, right? Like call extensions if calls are important for you, location extensions if you have stores or branches could be really important. Then something that is of course super important as well are price extensions or promotion extensions as well, if you run certain promotions. Now something that and now all in all, something that I want to be talking about, which is super important, is, are they a waste of money? Because an argument which I hear all the time is people are saying, hey, if I have, sorry, the dog's going nuts in the background. You obviously the benefits of being at home. Something that I hear a lot of people say all the time: if I run a branded search, why am I paying for my own branded keyword? Isn't that a waste of money? People would click on the organic search result anyway. And the answer to that is yes, to a certain extent, but most businesses benefit from branded search campaigns massively for the following reasons. So there are certain case studies that have, for instance, determined for eBay and other big giants like that branded search is a waste of money. And for instance, Amazon have turned them off as well. But the problem is people use these platforms to search for other products, right? So naturally, a branded search is totally pointless for them in a way. Whereas if you are a brand or if you are a business, you will want to obviously capture that traffic for yourself as best as possible. And that is why branded search can be really important to protect your brand identity and reputation. So you will want to run a branded search campaign, for instance, to make sure that that competitors aren't bidding on your brand. This happens very often. Competitors bid in on your search volume, trying to piggyback off your search volume if they have a similar product, and trying to be above your organic search results that way. So, and by running a branded search, you prevent this completely. Also, it increases your brand visibility and awareness. So you are literally dominating the search engine ranking page if you run a branded search. So anything that has to do with your brand, you will capture and you will generate those clicks and that awareness, which are, by the way, super low cost and super high intent. Like I mentioned before, people who know your brand actually purchase from you. Yeah, they've made up their mind. And much more importantly is something that I said before as one of the tips, is that you can actually test various landing pages and offers or various landing pages for the types of searches that occur, and tailor messaging really specific to people's needs. And this can make a big difference to your bottom line, right? Let's say you don't run something like that, and half of your searches branded are something like brand plus offer or discount code, right? And let's say 1 out of 5 people purchase, will do a branded search on your organic search results. Fantastic. So now think you got a specific landing page which you can push to the top with something like a 10% or 20% discount code that serves people who search for, let's say, brand plus discount code, etc. And now not 1 in every 5, but 2 out of every 5 people end up purchasing with you. How much additional money do you make just from doing that over the course of the year, just because you direct in people to a relevant landing page of yours? So you can really capture this high intent and really, with super low click costs, generate tons and tons and tons of conversions and revenue for your business this way. You can also reinforce brand messaging or customer loyalty. For instance, if you have a certain sale on, it can be really handy. Let's say you have a Black Friday sale and people search for something like your brand name plus Black Friday sale. Then you can have the messaging on what your sale is right in the ad, and people know what's going on, right? So that way you can actually message really efficiently as well. Another advantage is that you can track your brand awareness levels. You can see how popular your brand is by looking at your brand's impressions, because naturally the more people are aware of your brand, the more people will be able to search, right? If they don't know your brand, they won't search for your brand. So this can sort of be a really good indicator if other marketing campaigns are working. Let's say, for instance, you run a radio ad and your call to action is for people to search your branded name plus, for instance, the campaign that you run. And you see this very often on TV, for instance, as well, when people say a call to action, like to donate to a certain fund or something. They'll say donate to Macmillan summer, search for Macmillan summer donation or something. So that is again a branded search with a super relevant search result where you can send people to, and you can do the same, right? Depending obviously on what you sell. Then something I've alluded to already is you can test the various landing pages, but also you can direct people to more relevant results. A real good example, for instance, something that we've run just now with one of our largest clients. They are a massive company, which we're not allowed to say, unfortunately, the name, but they are an 8-figure business, which is really cool. And basically, all that we've done for their branded searches is we've run an A/B test of their main homepage versus they just have one product directly to their product page, and as it turns out, the product page had twice the conversion rate of the homepage, simply because it cut out that one step in the funnel. And again, imagine if you were doing that with just your organic search results. Well, guess what? You're going to be losing out on tons of revenue because you're not sending people to the right or to the best landing page. So this is something that you can do. But now I'm going to go to the final point of the benefits of running a branded search campaign, and this is the most overlooked and the single best reason why you should be running one, and that is because it trains your algorithm. So something I've already mentioned before is that obviously all of these branded searches are super high intent, right? So they're very high intent. People are on the fence of buying, for instance, or very close to purchasing or to sign up to your company or whatever it is. And as a result, if people then convert, they are very often exactly in your ideal audience, right? So these are people who know your brand, they are within your target audience, they search for your brand, they click on the ad, they convert, happy days, right? And what this does, it feeds the Google algorithm with perfect data, right? You will see that in many Google Ads accounts, branded revenue makes up to 20, 30, sometimes up to 50% of the entire account's revenue. And if you actually sometimes implement branded campaigns, you will see that the revenue of your non-brand campaigns, so of your generic campaigns, actually increases as well, because you pump in so much Google Ads data, or so much data into the Google Ads account and into the conversion tracking, that your top funnel campaigns are benefiting from all of this information, right? And that is super important in more or less kickstarting your Google Ads account. So that's why it's really important that you set these up, and generally speaking, why brand campaigns are really good to set up. Where's this going to go in future? I think it's going to get more and more segmented in future. So like I said, people will be searching for stuff like trying to sign up for newsletters of your brand, for which you will maybe want to create separate landing pages and ad groups. You will also be prepared for developments in the market, such as voice search. People might be searching completely different about your brand in the near future, which we will have to deal with. I think AI is going to be a big thing. People will search for stuff like, let's say, if you are an advertiser, you will want to potentially create immersive experience with your branded search campaigns, which I don't know what this will look like, but no doubt it is coming. And then something I think which is going to be really important is generally a personalization and customization of the ads, depending on the type of searcher. This is already happening on Google to a certain extent anyway with responsive search ads. But I think it's going to go to the next level within the next 5 years, and branded search will play a major role in that as well. So key takeaway of all of this is that I've told you how to set up a set up a branded search campaign. Relatively straightforward. Make sure to choose the right bidding strategy, like I said. Make sure to coordinate it with all of your other marketing efforts that you run. Make sure that you have maybe separate landing pages that are important for all the different types of branded searches that there are. And also just do them. I get asked very often, are brand campaigns a waste of money? And the clear answer to this is no. You should be running them. You are not wasting money or just feeding Google with unnecessary data. They are super, super, super important for the success of your Google Ads account, and a super, super easy way to add ROAS to your account and to increase revenue. If you need any help with setting this up or have any further questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, have a real good one and see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Google Ads Unleashed. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. If you found value in today's podcast, please share it with others and leave a rating and a review. For more information or to connect with Jeremy, check him out online at www.younganddigital.marketing. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.